Watching your supervisor erase 12 months of your hard work in front of the entire office is brutal. It is even crazier when that exact moment of public humiliation triggers a phone call that offers you a massive fortune. My name is Clara Benson, and 3 months ago, my manager thought she was destroying useless paperwork. She had no idea that she was actually deleting the hidden pillars holding our entire firm together. The immediate aftermath of that deletion left me standing in a stunned silence while 23 co-workers stared at my blank monitor. My manager smiled, completely unaware that my phone was vibrating in my pocket with a life-changing career opportunity. That single act of workplace cruelty backfired so spectacularly that it completely wrecked her career while launching mine into the stratosphere. To understand how this happened, we have to look back at how it all began. 18 months prior to that day, I accepted a position at Oak Ridge Analytics as their client relationship coordinator. The job description seemed straightforward and frankly a bit tedious since it mostly involved tracking satisfaction metrics and managing communication logs. However, the corporate leadership failed to mention that the company was losing major accounts at an alarming rate. The person who held the position before me quit after 90 days. My direct supervisor was a cold woman named Juliana Vance, who made it clear that my role was completely unnecessary. Juliana viewed corporate commerce as a sequence of sterile transactions consisting of automated invoices and rigid deliverables. The concept of fostering actual human connection with clients was entirely foreign to her robotic methodology. I recognized a massive flaw in this sterile approach during my very first week on the job. When I reviewed the historical client databases, the communication logs looked like transcripts written by automated machines. There was zero warmth or personal touch, meaning nobody ever bothered to learn anything about the people funding our business. I decided to change the culture by treating our accounts like real human beings. I began taking notes on their personal lives, their families, and the unique challenges they faced daily. One major client named Harrison Vance mentioned that his favorite dog was dealing with severe health issues during a routine call. I noted the detail and followed up 2 weeks later to ask about the veterinary treatment. He was incredibly shocked that someone remembered his situation and spent 30 minutes sharing his gratitude. This small gesture solidified a professional bond that no automated competitor could ever duplicate. Another important partner named Beatrice Langley appreciated when I acknowledged the anniversary of her textile firm. She was so moved by the personalized outreach that she booked an extra consultation package worth $12,000. These actions were not expensive or grand, but they proved that listening to people created immense loyalty. Juliana could not comprehend why I spent 30 minutes on calls that normally took 5. During our monthly performance evaluations, Juliana would tap her pen aggressively against a clipboard while reviewing my time metrics. She claimed my long conversations were highly inefficient and harmed the productivity standards of the department. I explained that our client retention rate had jumped by over 30% because of this personalized care. She refused to listen and demanded a complete audit of my interactions. Juliana intended this massive audit as a grueling punishment designed to bury me under mountains of dry paperwork. Instead of complaining, I approached the project with immense focus and detailed exactly how much revenue my methods generated. My final report was over 50 pages of undeniable proof that human connection directly yielded hundreds of thousands of dollars. I felt incredibly proud of the comprehensive data I compiled. The breaking point arrived on a chilly Tuesday morning when Juliana called a mandatory department meeting to review our protocols. She projected my extensive audit onto the large conference room screen for everyone to see. Instead of praising the financial growth, she began dissecting my notes as examples of unprofessional behavior. She called my personal conversations garbage and claimed I violated corporate boundaries. The entire room grew ice cold as 23 colleagues watched her dismantle my hard work. Juliana then moved her cursor over the master database file containing every single client note I had gathered. She announced that the company was returning to rigid communication standards effective immediately. With a malicious smirk, she clicked the delete button and erased an entire year of data right before my eyes. The room was completely silent as 12 months of meticulous relationship building vanished into thin air. Juliana looked incredibly proud of herself, assuming that she had successfully broken my spirit and asserted her dominance. What she failed to realize was that she could not delete the real human connections living inside the minds of our clients. Right then, my phone buzzed with an incoming call. I stepped into the hallway to answer the phone while my hands shook with a mixture of rage and adrenaline. The caller was the managing director of Vanguard Partners, a massive rival firm that had been watching our metrics. They recognized that I was the sole reason Oak Ridge kept its biggest accounts. They offered me a salary of $500,000 annually to switch sides immediately. The rival firm also offered me full autonomy over client relations and significant equity in their expanding organization. They explicitly stated that they did not want stolen database files because they knew the clients trusted me, not the software. When I walked back into the meeting room, Juliana was still lecturing the staff about corporate efficiency. I looked her in the eyes and announced my immediate resignation. Juliana instantly panicked and stammered about corporate notice requirements, but I pointed out that public humiliation invalidated my contract. I gathered my belongings and walked out the door, leaving the entire room in absolute shock. Within 3 days, I was sitting in my brand new office at Vanguard Partners. I simply updated my public business profile and waited for the natural consequences to unfold. The fallout was swift and devastating for Oak Ridge because the clients immediately noticed my absence. Harrison Vance called my new office within 72 hours to congratulate me and move his entire account to Vanguard. Beatrice Langley followed the exact same path later that afternoon because she refused to deal with Juliana. By the end of the month, 14 major accounts abandoned Oak Ridge entirely. The accounts that left represented over 60% of the annual revenue for Oak Ridge. Juliana tried to contact the remaining clients, but she ended up lecturing them about efficiency when they complained. Her rigid philosophy pushed people away even faster, creating an unprecedented corporate crisis. The top executives called an emergency board meeting to address the sudden and massive loss of funding. 3 months later, the chief executive officer of Oak Ridge contacted me to ask if Vanguard would buy out their remaining assets. The company that labeled my human touch as useless garbage was now collapsing because they destroyed customer loyalty. Juliana was dismissed from her position and could not find work anywhere else due to the disaster. True professional revenge requires no manipulation because bad decisions naturally destroy themselves.